In the entire history of Magic the Gathering, there has only ever been 3 mono black angels. Now all of a sudden, Kaldheim is dropping 2 more into our lap, and they are unlike anything we've ever seen. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We are here today to talk about the brand new mono black angels that are coming in Kaldheim. But to be able to properly appreciate exactly what they represent and how much they've diverged from what traditionally a black angel in Magic is, I want to go over the history to a degree of how angels have functioned in Magic the Gathering, specifically focusing on the pre-existing black angels, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start all the way at the beginning with the first angel Magic ever had. Pretty straightforward. It's the Sarah Angel. Now, this card was massive at the time. This was a huge deal. By today's standards, this is a wave it away uncommon. But it's 2 white and 3 for a 4/4 flyer with vigilance. Gotta love that old school wording for vigilance, right? And the flavor text is something about heavenly purity. It's a pretty straightforward concept, right? Angels are these embodiments of virtue and like white magic, all this kind of stuff. And it's a heavenly concept, right? So that's where we started with angels. And then Legends took that and turned it on its head with its first black angel in all of Magic, starting in 1994 with the Fallen Angel. Now this card is way more interesting to me from a flavor perspective because the Sarah Angel is a very straightforward concept, right? Here we go. We've got this divine angel. Well, now here we have a fallen version of it. So it's got the same casting cost, except now it's in black mana. It's 2 black and 3. Now it's a 3/3 flyer instead of a 4/4 flyer, and it no longer has vigilance. And to me, that was like the loss of divine grace, where the angel has fallen for some reason, and now you have that loss of divine grace as well. Like that basically goes ahead and decreases the power and takes away the vigilance. And even though the angel has no wings, she's still able to fly. But the craziest part about the fallen angel is the fact that she can become more powerful than the angels that haven't fallen by consuming the living, like drawing in their souls or whatever it is. It's got a really dark feel. And when you look at the artwork and you see the scars on the back where the wings clearly were, and these like created, fashioned almost demon horns that the angel is wearing, like it's embraced its new existence, it's a pretty crazy contrast to the Sarah Angel, right? And that's really the idea that Magic would have for the longest time about mono black angels, is that they are essentially just a complete perversion of what like the normal order of angels is. And we saw that in another example with the Crypt Angel, which is from Invasion. So there's big gaps between these black angels. So the Crypt Angel is 1 black and 4 for a 3/3 flyer with protection from white. So, and I mean, it does have the other ability that brings a creature back from your graveyard, a blue or red one, but that's more tied into the mechanics of that world and that set, as opposed to anything to do with what I'm trying to illustrate about angels being like a corrupted version of the pure angels, right? So the Crypt Angel, I mean, it's even more direct with its concept of impurity, where the flavor text says, once an angel, now an abomination, which is incredible flavor text. It's nice and short, succinct. It gives you the exact same concept like that you're supposed to get from the card overall in one tight little package. And there's just something about the fact that both words start like with the letter A that makes it extra satisfying for me. That may not be for you, but either way, I've always thought this was a really cool card. So again, this is an idea of a fallen, corrupted kind of angel somehow taken aside and infused with the evil swamp man and turned into this corrupted version. I love it, right? So up until this point, this has essentially been the ongoing concept. Now, there are a bunch of angels that have black in them in other colors, like there are a bunch of white black angels, the Servants of the Orzhov that, and even the third mono black angel. I'm not really going to go on about it or show it here because it's useless if you're not also playing white. So it doesn't fall really into the same category of mono black, right? So moving on to talk about Kaldheim now, we have examples of 2 different white angels and 2 different black angels, and they come together to kind of give you a concept of how these mono black angels are different than any of the previous ones. Now, the cards we're going to look at here are all only available either in like theme boosters or collector's packs, as far as I understand. So these are Kaldheim cards, but for the purposes of spoilers, if you're wondering or whatever, these aren't like from the normal set. These are the bonus side cards. So there's 4 different angels that they have, and I really like the way that they illustrate the differing concept between the 2. So we will take a look first at Renegade Reaper, which is the 1 black and 2 casting cost, 2/3 flying uncommon angel berserker, which is an amazing, like, the crazy things they're doing with like creature type slamming, where it's like, okay, you know, we're gonna have angel berserkers, demon berserkers. I mean, it feels obvious in retrospect that, yeah, that's a really cool idea. Like, of course it's a thing, but it hasn't really been a thing in Magic. Like, technically, berserkers have been in the color black for the longest time. I mean, berserker, ultimately, when you think of berserker and you think of like barbarian warriors that just run into battle with no care for their lives, and you kind of have to give them their own space because they'll hurt people around them or whatever, just caught up in that passion, that feels very red, actually, right? But black also has that like quest for power, not caring about people around you sort of thing. That all works in the berserker concept too. So we have had, I think, maybe 5 or 6 different black berserkers throughout the history of Magic the Gathering, and it was never done in any kind of tribal way where they showed up in the same set. It was just a creature type that was sparsely applied here or there. But it seems like angel berserkers are going to be a thing, because both of the mono black angels we're going to look at today are actually both angel berserkers, which is an exciting concept. So the Renegade Reaper has flying. When it enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. If at least 1 angel card is milled this way, you gain 4 life. This is a pretty crazy concept. To me, the black angels from Kaldheim have a graveyard-focused theme, and also a single solitary kind of theme. If you take a look at the artwork here, you can see this Reaper is flying through the air. I don't know, I'm going to ask you, if your first impression was the same as mine, the darkness of this artwork, my brain turns this into a centaur. I had to actually stare at the artwork pretty hard to make out the knees and the legs at the front, because the billowing cape that's flowing out has kind of the shape of a centaur body. Now, if you pay more attention, clearly you can tell it's just a bipedal angel, right? And actually flying all around it, behind it, it just has this insanely long trailing cloak. That's what it looks like to me. At first, I was like, is it flying amongst gulls or some other kind of birds or something? But it just looks like to me now that this is a single solitary angel with this crazy long trailing kind of gownish aspect to her battle gear. I don't know. I do want to say, while we're here taking a look at the artwork, that I mean, I knew Wizards wanted Kaldheim to feel like it's metal, but I didn't know they meant they were going to have angels that have their like faces painted like they're going to a Kiss concert. I mean, the makeup, the makeup on the Renegade Reaper totally literally looks like I'm in a Kiss cover band and I'm on my way to karaoke night. Like, that's the vibe that it gives me, which is really funny because I really like the rest of the artwork. The face really distracts me, but the wings specifically, they have this sort of aurora borealis feel to them. Like if you looked up into the sky, the light playing along the wings would stand up, but then there's just the shadowy darkness of this Reaper, and it would be pretty intimidating to look up and see that at first, to kind of marvel at the lights around it, and then realize that there's this like dark angel plummeting towards you. And then maybe chuckle for a second where you're like, wait a minute, is that a member of Kiss? What's Gene Simmons? Is that you? Like that part's funny to me. But either way, I want you to note that the Reaper is shown here in a solitary style, because after we've gone through all 4 of the angels we're going to talk about, I want to revisit that point and like expound on how it makes these angels different. Okay, so now we have in contrast the uncommon white angel, and this is the youthful Valkyrie. and she is 1 white and 1 for a 1/3 flyer. Whenever another angel enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Youthful Valkyrie. Its creature type is just angel, which I really like when you tie it to the youthful concept, because it means that this angel hasn't found her way yet. She doesn't know whether she's going to be a warrior or a healer, right? And so that's a nice way of illustrating that. The artwork is very chill and relaxed. You know, the Reaper was on their way somewhere to do something. The Valkyrie is sitting in contemplation. Also, the abilities of the white angels aren't triggered off of graveyard effects, right? This is more about basically having angels entering the battlefield. It's about that sort of a scenario with the white ones. So it's more about angels gathering together instead of a solitary concept. And the flavor text says, before she's admitted to the host of Starnheim, a young Valkyrie must learn 1,000 tales of her ancestors. That's a lot to learn. So every angel, I guess, is going to be an amazing storyteller. And if you take a look at the artwork, you can see in the background here that it's a nice kind of calm, if misty and somewhat gray, but overall calm background with a number of angels flying around in the background, showing that she's not alone, right? So that's the uncommon 2 angels that we get there. Now I want to take a look at the rare angels. We're going to reverse it and start with the white one so that we can end off talking about the black one and the differences for contrast. Okay, so we've got Valkyrie Harbinger. This is 2 white and 4 for a 4/5 flying lifelink angel cleric. And it says at the beginning of each end step, if you gained 4 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. So again, this is an ability that's based on angels getting together, there being more of them, grouping together, right? And when you look at the artwork, again, what do you see in the background? It's a relatively calm sky, but more importantly, you see that there are a bunch of angels. And they're closer too, obviously, because it's like they're heeding the call of the Harbinger, who has like led them there. The flavor text says, where she flies, the light of Starnheim shines, all right? So, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward concept for an angel here. She's all about healing, and as you gain life energy, more angels get summoned up, right? I mean, they're going to show up either way, but that's the way they show it mechanically. So the concept behind the white angels is very much a concept of unity and working together. The more angels you get out together, the better. Whereas when we looked at the Renegade Reaper, you benefited by not having another angel show up. In fact, that other angel went away, so the Reaper can be on their own. Now, the next one we're going to take a look at is the black rare angel, and that's Cleaving Reaper. So that's 2 black and 3 for a 5/3 flying trampler. Now that is an interesting ability all on its own. The trample aspect of it makes it feel far less like an angel, like that is graceful and divine, and more like one that is somewhat more brutish, right? So the Cleaving Reaper has flying and trample, pay 3 life, return Cleaving Reaper from your graveyard to your hand. Activate this ability only if you had an angel or berserker enter the battlefield under your control this turn. And the flavor text says, I won't pollute my blade with your blood, demon. You'll die by your own axe, which is incredible. So when you look at the artwork here, you can see the background is very frenetic, right? There's a lot of chaos kind of feel to it. The sky is very red. Lightning is blasting down. You've got the Reaper here back in a full-on action pose, getting ready to swing forwards a demonic axe. But the thing is, that gives the idea that these Reapers are actually fighting against evil, right? Like the Reapers are here to fight against demons. So in this world, to me, the Reapers aren't the bad guys. They're not evil angels. They're just the angels that go out and lay waste to the enemies, right? And they go out in a solitary fashion. So it's the ones that aren't able to fit in the same way. And the Cleaving Reaper basically is like, sure, it triggers when an angel comes out, but it's more just like, I will return in battle, not like I need to be with the angels. It's more just like, anybody still fighting? I'm not giving up the fight. I'm going to keep coming back again and again. So these angels come across as essentially on the side of good, but just not the normal, or maybe they're evenly divided. I don't know if we have an equal amount, but either way, they feel very divergent because they don't come across as corrupted. They don't come across as tainted. The Crypt Angel and Fallen Angel are very obviously evil. But when you take the Reaper concept across both these, it doesn't automatically necessitate an evil concept. Now, I do want to put the little asterisk up in the sky here, the disclaimer saying that we don't know all the story details for Kaldheim. So it could turn out that I'm actually wrong here and the angels are evil or whatever, but they don't come across as corrupted angels to me. They just come across as bloodthirsty angels that are like lone wolves working for the same good purpose overall, I guess, in the service of the gods. But that's just the flavor that I'm getting off these cards. Either way, I thought it was really cool, even just from the perspective of, look, we only had 3 mono black angels in Magic altogether. Having 2 more is a 60% increase in one set. So that all by itself is interesting enough to note, but I felt like they diverged enough from the regular mold of mono black and the fact that we had the interesting contrast of like unity versus individuality. I thought that was fantastic because it helps to illustrate that black as a color doesn't always have to be like they're evil. It can just be like they're not capable of the unity. They're more power hungry. Whatever these sort of things are, it doesn't necessarily just have to be the corrupted version. The corrupted versions are fun, especially when you have like, all right, here's the norm and here's what you're normally going to get. And every once in a while, oh, it's a corrupted version. That's cool. Like when they corrupted Garruk, I thought that was really neat. But either way, at this point, I've gone over everything I wanted to say about this. So thanks for coming by, my friends. I will leave a link up to my newest lore video and I'll see you guys tomorrow.